don't remember. Oh, you know what? I did the video maybe on.
It's when you show you as a child. Oh, look at your tan there.
Isn't it? Not got that now. Oh Jesus. These photos, they keep cropping up.
I mean, I'd go as far as to say I'm obsessed. It can ruin my weekends. It can make my weekends.
Still feel the same.
Yeah, definitely.
Now twice because playing and watching.
In terms of the women's team, yeah, the signings they've made.
My brows are dark there, aren't they?
Players that I've played with when I was young.
And my hair's blonder because I haven't been to the hairdressers for about a year, so.
But it's summer as well, though. Like,
Yeah.
got good tan there, Kate.
Yeah.
You know, starting with
What did it feel like
natural.
when? How did it go about? Like, as in, you, because obviously you come to us like pre-season.
Yeah.
How did that come around? Like, as in, what was it like to hear?
Well, originally, I didn't really know what I was doing once I left Liverpool. I knew my contract was up and didn't renew it, and it felt like the right time to leave. And then I had a couple of options, which didn't materialise in the end. And you know, after speaking and thinking you've made your mind up somewhere, West Ham almost wasn't an option. So yeah, I was a bit in limbo in terms of I didn't really know what I was doing, whether I still wanted to play, whether I, you know, I just didn't know what I was going to do. And then it was the general manager at the time. She texted me and said, "Do you want to come along to West Ham, like for pre-season or whatever?" And I was like, "Yeah," like because I'd already spoken to Beardy before, and he said about potentially coming and stuff. But I think because nothing really materialised again with that situation. So as I said, I didn't know what I was doing. So I thought, you know what, like, of course I want to come. And then, yeah, just was here like a week and all the girls were great. And so I think it was like 3 weeks after you'd started pre-season or whatever. Yeah. And I remember coming in, like you said, Little Heath, training ground. I was thinking, oh, like the facilities aren't the best, you know. It was, what was it, like a Nutri-Grain bar or something for lunch, or like bring your own sandwich type thing. And I thought, okay, this club needs a long way to kind of get to where I want to be. But I knew you, I knew Bex, I knew Raf. Like, I thought there's some good players here, and I could tell from training there that it was a place I wanted to be. So then when they offered me a contract, I was like, yeah, I know there's a lot of work that needs to be done, but of course I want to sign. And yeah, I haven't looked back since.
Did you ever think of did you ever come in your head of that playing for West Ham? Like, was there that sort of like?
Yeah, I think so, because like I said to my dad about the two options that I had at the time, and it needed to be right for me, not just because it's West Ham, as much as I've always wanted to play for West Ham in a professional environment. But he was like, "Well, just do what you want to do." And then, yeah, I signed, and he was just like, "Oh, I'm so glad that you did that." And it's, just like a dream, really. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to take some credit for it, because I remember turning up for pre-season gear, and we was a couple of weeks in, and I remember sitting with Bex, and I was like, we just needed some experience. Obviously, we had always a brand new team. Yeah. And I remember sitting there, and I think I was with Raf as well, and I was going, Beardy, he needs to go and get Kate Longhurst. Like, she's available, go and get her. Yeah. And I remember standing to Beardy in the procession, and I was like, go and get her. Like, she's available. We need someone in midfield who's just going to be tying it up. So, and then a couple of days later, I was like, she's here.
It's worked, yeah.
And no, it's been brilliant having you here as well.
Yeah. But it's been a long 4 years, isn't it?
It's gone
a
quick,
lot of changes. Like, I mean, we're the only two there from that first pre-season. Obviously, Dree came in January. But there's been a lot of change, but hopefully...
We stay strong.
Yeah.
We're ain't getting rid of us.
Yeah, we're still here, but it's been a good 4 years. Yeah. Let's see what else is on here. Oh, this is Man United. What a crazy game. Sometimes I do think I'm a bit extra. Like, Leanne had just got sent off. Obviously, they were being a bit mouthy. And then Kata, she popped up with that free kick, and it was just like, let's go mad. But then I remember thinking, oh, we've still got a little bit of time to hold on, like you can't go too wild. But I remember Leanne had just got sent off, then ran
and she
over
was
to me
standing
and
behind the goal, wasn't she?
jumped into my arms. That was probably one of my most enjoyable games in terms of the last 10 minutes, not the whole game, because we started really bad. I think we went 1-0 down after about a minute, 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was like ping pong, wasn't it? Like goal or goal.
Yeah, and obviously Man United were a good team building and everything, but I think in that season that was probably one of our better results and better wins, but yeah, that was madness. Then my first goal. Header. That's your mum screaming.
It's my mum screaming.
That's her mum screaming on there.
And she's still going on.
Yeah, this was crazy. This was my debut. And until Tottenham, they're the only 2 goals I've scored in the WSL for West Ham.
Really? Well, to be fair though.
So, I mean...
The 2 goals, I wouldn't mind them being against Arsenal.
Yeah. See, this was really important, I think, in terms of just making some awareness of, like, getting tested for your mammogram and mammogram, is that how you say it? It was really interesting to learn and speak to the doctor about what they would do, that it's not so scary. I watched what would happen, and Sue, who's one of the any old irons who I've been working with, she came along as well, so it was like, it was really good for her as well, I think, to like do it with the club, because obviously she's a woman that needs to get tested as well, and it's a really important message that we put out, that women need to get their screening done just to make sure they're fit and healthy, and hopefully we can avoid issues that are happening throughout the world, men and women as well. But they showed us how it was done, and just kind of puts you at ease of thinking, okay, like it's probably a scary thing for some people, but actually it's quite a simple procedure just to get tested, and maybe a bit of uncomfort, but nothing painful or nothing to be scared of. And I think it's just best to get checked, isn't it? And like with anything. And
since we've both been here, when it's come to appearances, you've always been the one who's done any old iron appearances. Why is that? Like,
because I just love them. Like, they're one of us, aren't they? Like, they've been fans for longer than we've been alive. They're so supportive. Do you remember when they were mascots? That was unbelievable. I hope we can do that again, actually.
That was lovely.
I think that was really good for them as well, because they really enjoyed it. But I love working with them. They're just so positive, so friendly. I've been on a lot of Zoom calls with them. I went to the Pie Mash with them. Hopefully I can do some more appearances with them. But it's I don't know, they just make you feel good and show what West Ham's about, the community feel, and make you really proud, like, to be part of West Ham. I love working with them, so yeah.
It's lovely.
It's fun. Cess again. This woman could be on a reel of her own. Do you know how uncomfortable it was?
Look at her looking up.
Her reaction was the best. But it was so hard to breathe. I feel sorry for this person that goes in the mascot thing. Because honestly, trying not to breathe loud, I was like... and then knowing what to do to move.
Yeah.
Like...
It's the way she sits there, she just looks around the room. Like...
But Cho, I was like, I'm going to knock something and see if she, like, reacts. And then she did, but didn't really. And she really thought she had to take this thing seriously. She's, like, putting the names down on the tickets. You know, this was the first time Cho spoke in proper English that she was going to kill me. That's the first time I had a...
This is brilliant.
I loved doing this.
I remember being the other side of this.
Laura.
Look at that.
It's so fun scaring people. It's so fun.
I remember being outside the tent, being behind the cameras and seeing it. Oh, I wet myself.
Oh. Again, it was quite hard to, like, be discreet and, like, climb behind the thing while they're watching it. But How is she a different person now? Like, she's mad. She's actually mad. That was so fun, though. Oh.
Oh, this is brilliant.
Do you know, I don't know what this celebration is. I don't know why I did it, but I think because we were down to 10 for so long,
This bit here.
And then I just saw this camera. I honestly just didn't have some of that. I just didn't even notice any player coming near me. I was just like batting everyone away. And I just saw that camera and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to shout down it. But I don't know why have some of that came out. But
I remember being behind, obviously I was at the back, so I was behind the goal. And I remember you heading it. And as soon as I see you head it, I thought, I knew, because I could just see the flood. And I was like, that's in.
Yeah.
And I remember coming home and I remember going indoors and seeing Neil, and Neil was just like, Kate is brilliant. And she was like, and I didn't see because I ran over to you, and you was like, get back in. But I didn't see you do that. And I was like, yeah, like she scored a great goal or a celebration. She was like, no, a celebration. I was like, what are you talking about? She ran to the camera and was like, I'm that. And I was like, oh, it's just Kate all over.
Do you know, I got so many people sending me messages of it. Like, my phone blew up that night. And like,
I can imagine.
Bearing in mind, it was a 1-1 draw. Like, I've played much better in games, you know, but just so many people like Esme, Martha Thomas, Courtney, Leanne, like all our old players, like just messaging me going, I absolutely love, like just sending me the video and stuff. And I didn't even think at the time, oh, this is on telly, or like I'm shouting down the camera to people on telly. Like it was just, I don't know, instinct.
I do think though, like even in that game especially, like I remember saying afterwards, if there was any player that you'd want to score the equaliser in the whole thing of being down to 10, scoring an equaliser in the last couple of minutes against Tottenham away, for me it'd be you. Because I think like you are like die-hard West Ham, do you know what I mean? And even when we do the talks before the game and you're like, we can't lose to Tottenham, like, and no one else in this, even like for me being an English player, like no one else understands that unless you are West Ham. So I just think that game was brilliant in the sense of I wouldn't have wanted anyone else to score that. And I think obviously then you stepping up, being the player you are, to step up to score that equaliser, that's a big point for us, you know? But it was a great goal as well. Like, Bex had no chance of getting that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel a bit bad because it was against Bex, who I love. Like, she probably felt it's a bit muggy, but listen, she's saved enough for them, so.
So, obviously 4 years down the line, how do you feel about hitting your 100 appearances?
Yeah, it's not something you really think about when you first join, is it? You know, and I think to get to 100 in women's football is quite hard because there's not a lot of games. The pandemic, everything that happened, there isn't a lot of games a season, so it does take a while to kind of get there. But to be in esteemed company with you of, you know, the only two players to reach 100 in this era of professional football. Of course, there's players beforehand. But yeah, it's incredibly like a proud moment for me to do it for the club that I love, to be able to spend so much time here, get to an FA Cup final, hopefully another FA Cup final, depending on how we do. But yeah, it's just, there's been so many good moments, but there's also been some incredibly hard moments as well, I think, within the team. You know, the fight in relegation was obviously not a great moment for us because we could not get a win out of anywhere. Even when we played really well, it was like conceding a lot of last-minute goals. And I think we've developed and grown a lot this season in the team, and probably the experience that we've had in terms of going through that last season where we just could not hold on to the lead. I think we've been better at it this season. Of course, at the beginning of the season we struggled, but the club is going in the direction that we want it to go in and becoming a lot more competitive, and we've got a really good squad, a really good group of girls, and yeah, it's nice to see the developments going each year and getting this club to where it should be.